The tear occur mainly due to the extensive stretching and fall on the outstretched hand, and degenerative changes in the elderly causes the rupture of the tendons. The rotator cuff has poor blood supply in the area between the humerus and the acromion process, and it undergoes the degenerative changes which weaken it with the age. So eventually defect develop, which is termed as the tears, and there may be the history of trauma present or absent. Mainly traumatic history occurs in the young patient who present with the rotator cuff tears, and in the elderly it is mainly consequences of the degenerative changes that the rotator cuff tear occurs. Tears could be maybe the acute and chronic. In this diagram, different stages of the tears are present. First of all, the normal anatomy is shown. The critical zone is present between the greater tuberosity of the humerus and the acromion process, where the subdeltoid bursa or subacromion bursa is also present. These are the partial thickness tears. First of all, there is the degeneration or anterolateral rupture of the supraspinatus tendon. Then it progresses posteriorly and involves infraspinatus and teres minor tendons. Due to the poor blood supply and the earliest and the narrowest space where the supraspinatus tendon is present, first of all degenerative changes causes tearing of the supraspinatus, and it progresses posteriorly and involves the infraspinatus and teres minor muscles. When the partial thickness tears become progresses to form the full thickness tear, there is a bare area between the greater tubercle of the humerus and acromion. Here is the acute full thickness tear is shown. Here is the chronic tear and is the retracted chronic tear. Acute tears are mainly painful. At the presentation, pain could be less, but there is a profound weakness, and acute tears mainly symptomatic, and chronic tear may be painless and asymptomatic. Pain usually is present due to the overwork or regular wear and tear, as the blood supply is less in this particular area, so healing is delayed and it's hard to heal over time. Chronic tear occurs in a person who perform a repeated shoulder movement, for example baseball sportsmen, and it could be in elderly it could entirely asymptomatic, like 4 to 20% of the 40 to 50 years old patients and 50% of 70 years old have asymptomatic rotator cuff tears. Acute or symptomatic tears are further divided as a partial and complete tears. Partial tear may remain unnoticed, but complete tears due to the detached muscles causes hindrance of the movement and pain, which leads the patient to the hospital. These are classified on the basis of size as small, intermediate and large. Less than 1 centimeter are called small, 2 to 4 centimeter tears are called intermediate, and more than 5 centimeter gap are called as large. In older patients, older patients face difficulty in carrying out normal activities of daily life such as combing hair. In this picture, a 75-year-old man with a more than 5 centimeter retracted cuff tear attempting to abduct the shoulder is present, and the abduction movement is limited by lack of balance motor power below 60 degree. It shows that patient has difficulty in the initiation of the abduction. Diagnosis: patient may present with the mixed picture of tendinitis and tear, which for this local anesthetic injection is injected at the subacromial region. Pain relief occurs but weakness persists, which shows that there is tear of the tendons, and it's not merely a tendinitis. For the diagnosis, range of motion is checked. There is a difficulty at initiation of the abduction, commonly at 15 degree or more. Patient cannot initiation of the abduction of the upper limb, and if the arm is passively abducted for 15 degree or more, then abduction continues by the use of the deltoid muscle. Strength of the muscle is checked and associated pain is confirmed, and cuff muscle wasting is checked. Asymptomatic symptomatic tears may also present with the weakness, pain and limited active abduction and cuff muscle wasting, and hunching of the shoulder when attempting abduction. Hunching is leaning forward with shoulder raised and head down. इन्वेस्टिगेशंस में सबसे पहले एक्सरे करेंगे. एक्सरे में नैरो स्पेस नज़र आएगी बिटवीन द ह्यूमरस एंड द एक्रोमियन ड्यू टू द इन्फ्लेमेशन एंड collection of fluid at that particular part, and there is the narrowing of the space, and it may also be due to the spurt. And if the diagnosis is still unclear or the surgery has to be performed to see the extent of the tears, MRI is the investigation of choice. Here the MRI of the shoulder joint is shown, in which is the humeral head, and there is the torn supraspinatus tendon. In this picture, the supraspinatus tendon, which is being blended with the fibrous capsule, is shown, and here is the tear or perforation present. Treatment में सबसे पहले conservative treatment, in which there is ice packs application is done to relieve pain, analgesics are given, and arthroscopic and open repair with subacromial decompression is done. Rest is advised. Subacromial decompression is for the pain relief, and these method done for the all tears, but outcome is better in the young patients than in the elderly. It may not be possible to suture the large tears owing to their size, and if there is fatty atrophy and loss of the contractility of the muscles, then it is not possible to repair the tendons with suturing. Then more complex surgical procedures are performed, which includes tendon transfer, patch grafts, and reverse joint replacement. Earlier repair after traumatic onset give better results.